So I would say a large portion of the earnings are coming out after market, and the broad market is not reacting favorably, along with coronavirus uptick and outbreak continuing for the second wave. You can see the VIX is now starting to move up in the aftermarket. The SPY in the aftermarket is starting to go down. DIA, IWM. Financials taking a hit. The QQQ is holding, but yeah, it's still on a downward trend, and retail is starting to go down. So this is not looking favorably. Normally earnings are pretty decent, and it's more or less guidance for Q4. When I say earnings, I'm not necessarily referring to Q3 because that's already baked in. So right now, the risk reward ratio is not in favor of playing earnings, even for big names and safe names like Amazon and Shopify. Um, Look at the I guess the companies that are starting to get hit. So good companies that normally do pretty well, DXCM, software company or cloud company, Twilio is starting to get hit. Of course, Chipotle already reported earnings. It's starting to go the opposite way. Um, Bowen is going the opposite way. And that's of course is related to coronavirus. O'Reilly normally does pretty good in earnings, and it's starting to go the other way. So a lot of names are starting to go the other way, which tends to mean that the earnings are not gonna come in good, and the market is probably going to turn the other way. So there's still a lot of expectation for Shopify, but the run up is too high for me to play at this point. Of course, they gapped up and run up too quickly. I was hoping I could have got it yesterday, but who knows? You want to wait for today to see if there's any gap down to get in for Shopify. Of course, they gap it up, run it up quickly, so it's essentially a miss. Can't do anything. Amazon, of course, is the big tech. Along with the big tech of Apple, Google, Facebook, those guys have earnings on Thursday. Right now, I guess expect a downturn for tomorrow, the way that things are turning out. But as far as an earnings play, depending on the level, I'm not sure if I'm going to play it because the guidance might not be favorable for Q4 for whatever reason. You never know, and if the guidance is bad, you're gonna take a lot of. Uh, yeah, it's hard to say. Plays like Zoom still looks pretty good, although it might run out of steam. If the market turns, even good companies like Zoom will turn because it's all kind of tied together. Um, Google is the one I would probably short tomorrow if it gaps up or not get hit too hard tomorrow. So I would definitely try to get in Google because it's still relatively high compared to the others, compared to where it should be. It's still relatively high. So and snow, of course. This one, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to play that right now. I wouldn't play anything on the long side. Look at Baba. I mean, this thing just goes up. And I mean, you kind of compare it with Amazon, but I guess it's a lagger because it's a Chinese play, and internationally, I think um, COVID is not as bad for China and some of the other international market where Baba is focusing on. So that therefore they need to pick a new champion, and Baba appears to be that champion. Um, so not a lot of companies that are really outperforming, other than um, some of the solar company, like what is, yeah, First Solar. So First Solar, I guess, beat earnings, although it's retracing right now. It's going up. So these solar companies probably gonna continue to perform pretty well. Um, yeah, Quidel is probably the other one, since that beat earnings. But again, if the market turns lower, I would not be playing anything on the long side. It's probably better to play the short side than the long. Um, so let's see. Lilly, of course, had some bad results on their earnings. I mean, look at that. So overall, I think it's looking pretty bad. What happened to Janko Solar? Um, did it report earnings? Not sure yet. It's probably just a retracement. Let's see how the semiconductors are doing. Broadcom is down. AMD is down. Yeah, this is looking pretty bearish across the board. Netflix. Yeah, this guy's probably gonna turn lower. Regardless of what. Look at Valerio. This thing is just hitting new lows again. Intel Corp is probably hitting new lows. Mastercard reporting earnings coming up, I think tomorrow. Yeah, everything is looking really negative for whatever reason. All of a sudden, looking really negative. Look at the market. Of course, the VIX is going up. About time the VIX is going up, although the volume is still low. But that can pick up when you get these tick, and then all of a sudden, boom, it goes. So that's probably what's gonna happen. It's probably due for the VIX to start to really run up, which would mean a crash is coming. And you can see right there that the QQQ is not breaking. I mean, it's still below the 20. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days above the 20. Now it's 2 days below the 20. And of course, the 5 day is, look at that, it's just ticking lower. This is not good. I mean, you can see the 20 and the 5 are meeting up, and it's that right there is hitting the top band right here. So you can see it tries to break out. So I was kind of leaning positive right here when it broke out of the 100, but you just cannot anticipate it and carry a runner or play the aftermarket, because there's a lot of earnings. And of course, look what earnings did. Boom, it's getting hit. So this thing is now down to what, 181.6. Yeah, so it's now below this 100. So it's try to recover, and looks like it's gonna fail tomorrow. And I'm not sure if tomorrow's gonna be a crash or not, depending on what happened. Um, it may just be more of a downward grind, or it may be a crash is coming. Um, yeah, I mean, you know what? It's probably gonna crash for whatever reason. I don't know. It just looks like it's gonna. I mean, if it's gonna fail this 100 tomorrow, why not crash? Especially if COVID continues to bad and no stimulus, why not? Why not retest this low, this 50-day moving average? So this is not looking good. So the strategy I have for Amazon, man, I don't know if I'm gonna play it, to be honest, at this point. Cause you kind of going against. I mean, most likely it would beat, but you just don't know the way things are so negative. Maybe you sell a dated put. I don't know. It's hard to say at this point. It's just everything's looking so bearish that even playing the good, the good earnings like Amazon is not favorable at this point. Let's see what's so the short candidate I have was of course Starbucks. See if I can get into that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try to get into that tomorrow. Um, Earnings is coming up, and it's probably gonna miss earnings the way things are looking. Of course, Google. Definitely want to get into that if it doesn't crash tomorrow. Tesla. Um, yeah, Tesla is still looking weak. Looks below the 20-day moving average, and this thing is turning down. So it looks like any weakness tomorrow, it can potentially go to the 50. So Tesla is looking weak. What's my other play? I think I already missed Snap, but let's see. These guys can still, yeah, it's hard to, I mean, I kind of already missed it, but it can continue to go down. Twitter, Twitter is that's probably a good one to play for tomorrow because it doesn't have earnings until Thursday, and if things turn negative, Twitter should turn negative as well. But there's so many short play now because everything is pretty much a short, to be honest. So yeah, I'll probably try to get the short on Starbucks, on Google, Tesla. Let me see. Yeah, that's about it. Cake. Let me see what Cake is doing. Cheesecake Factory. It's already turned lower, so it's hard. I don't want to chase that. So essentially, that's pretty much nothing to write home about. Oh, what about Facebook? Let me see. Facebook is looking strong because of all the social media, so I wouldn't touch Facebook right now. PayPal is turning negative. You see on this side, yeah. I already looked at all the oils are looking. Let me look at scale Zscaler. That's a software company. It looks like it's turning down. So I don't know if I want to play Snow at all because I think Akamai missed as well. So you got Akamai. You got the software company missing like Akamai. Yeah. So that's not good. You see Akamai is now turning down. So even the software companies are forecasting pretty weak. So this is really negative, to be honest. Across the board is really negative. Of course, the Q is turning down, so that's negative. Let me just highlight that guy right there. And let me see if I can get it one more time. Can't get it. And of course, this one is the weekly. So let's look at the weekly. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, so the Q is there. SPY. SPY is looking weak, below the 50 now. I mean, look at that, it's below the 50. This is not good. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good. DIA, yep, yep. Look at that. DIA's at the 100, the 20. This is not good across the board. Looks like the party's over, people. Unfortunately, earnings is bad. Well, the forecast is bad. Um, yeah, this is This IWM is turning down. Biotech, um, XLF turning down. Retail, where's semiconductor right here? Semiconductors turning down. What about gold? Not doing much. The only one that may do pretty, this is oil. Yeah, of course oil is gonna be down. The only one, let me see, these cloud computings, it's probably gonna start to turn down as well. Or the solar company, because First Solar beat earnings pretty good. So those companies like First Solar, Janko Solar, um, those companies are probably gonna do pretty well. Where are the solar at? Here it is, Janko's. Um, yeah, 10 or run. I mean, although they're taking a step back, who knows? But First Solar's beat earnings, but who knows about the other ones? They probably are gonna run, and of course Neo is still looking good. But as far as Golden Child, there is not a Golden Child when the market turns negative. Even I mean, Baba might be the only Golden Child that I can think of right now. Looks like Baba is gonna run, so probably look at some of the other Chinese stock like Baidu. Yeah, NetEase. Um, not NetEase, but 10 cents, which I don't know how to spell right now. But yeah, the Chinese company will probably be the one I would focus on the long side. Although I'd probably stay short and be very cautious for going forward. Fortunately, I couldn't get in Shopify. I don't know if I'm not gonna play it at this point. And I'll just try to play the shorts tomorrow. And hopefully Amazon will turn negative. Because I mean I kind of not held it. I didn't hold a runner for Amazon, unfortunately, and it ran. Look at Amazon. This guy. The option has not been as heavily as I thought it would be, surprisingly. So let me see the 30. Yeah, this guy. So the 3300. So this one has been, there's the only chance to get in was this downturn right here at the low was 70. So I was, thinking of getting that, but I didn't, just too risky. To Even though I was looking at it, I was saying, you know what, it's just too risky. It's probably better opportunities now that I'm more focusing on trying to catch the big fish, the big kahuna, the big wave. You know, I was ex I kind of caught this, but I held it, and then it turned negative on me, and so that was very painful actually because my risk reward management was not good because this run up yesterday kind of brain seeded me, and yeah, I was up really big. And then it all turned negative. But today was a decent day. But let's see. I don't know. Just I guess continue to scalp the option would be the only thing I can think of. And then play the short because there's really not much. The market is just looking really negative at this point. So that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because it's harder to play the short side than the long side, but you can still play it. It's just a 401k. You can't really short. Um, but yeah, let's see what happens. Maybe they pass the stimulus and things will turn positive again. But right now, it's just looking really, really bearish for everything. I mean, SPY, QQQ, yeah, everything's just looking really, really bearish. So.